All right, Wall fans, what's up? It's the one and only Sean O'Rourke. You may have noticed there was no episode last week. I'll be honest, last week I was dealing with some family stuff and continuing to deal with some family stuff this week. Everything's good with the podcast. I can't quite bring myself to get in the studio for a full hour this week, but I did want to update everyone. And in fact, especially because today, as you know, at Go Tell It to the Wall podcast, we are big proponents of mental health and mental illness awareness and everything else. And today, unfortunately, we've seen yet another person commit suicide, and that would be Chester Bennington of Linkin Park. Fantastic vocalist. Whether you like Linkin Park or not, you got to respect him as a vocalist and his talents. And unfortunately, he's gone too soon, 41 years old, committing suicide. And as I've said on the show before, you know, it's great that everyone posts these suicide awareness, suicide hotline, all this other stuff. That's fantastic. The thing is, most people with mental illness or a problem like that aren't looking at Facebook and saying, oh, there's the number I should call. Yes, some of them are. You should continue to post that number. The thing that you can do the most to help is be aware of those around you. Chances are, any of you out there have a friend that has mental illness. It's just a fact. Many people suffer from this. It might not be as extreme as others. It could be very extreme. But just be aware of those around you. Someone around you might be asking for help. They might just need a shoulder to cry on. And instead of dismissing that, because honestly it's hard to see those signs sometimes, instead of dismissing it, be that shoulder to cry on. If you think someone is having a tough time, and trust me, I grew up with a lot of friends, and we still do it to this day. We insult each other like crazy, and that's how we show love. But sometimes you got to notice that. And instead of being insulting, even though you're showing love, be supportive. And look for those signs, because you never know. You never know. Chester Bennington dealt with alcoholism and all this other stuff. Most people probably didn't think he was going to commit suicide. However, we can pretty much ascertain that he planned it. Today was Chris Cornell's birthday. And he was a huge Chris Cornell fan, a good friend of his, and he really chose today to do it. The thing is, we can't save everyone, but you can be there for those that you know. For anyone around you that might be suffering from mental illness or might just need a little bit of positive reinforcement. You'll never realize, until you see it, how far a little gesture can go, In fact, I have a friend who's an avid listener of Go Tell It to the Wall podcast, and I was very down on the podcast a couple months ago. Random text message from my buddy Justin saying, podcast is sounding great, you're doing great. And that little thing, it's so little. He wasn't thinking that he's lifting me up that day, but those are the little things. So be positive out there, Wall fans. Lift each other up, because that's all we can do. That's all we can do. We need to avoid these kind of tragedies as much as possible. There's no reason for the loss of life over suicide, And trust me, I know. I have dealt with so much mental illness. Like, it is not even funny. And I've seen it from others. It is very, very difficult. It's very difficult. But all you can do is be there for people. Just be there. Just be aware of who's around you that maybe does need that shoulder to cry on. Even just needs a little positive reinforcement. Because that's what we do at Go Tell It to the Wall. That's what we do as Wall fans. All of you out there as Wall fans. Positivity. Lifting each other up. Have passion. Be passionate about your friends. Be passionate about your family. Whatever it might be. But always remember that someone, you know someone that maybe is going through something that you don't realize. And you don't. Maybe they're being a jerk that day because they're going through something. Trust me, I do it all the time. I'm a jerk all the time. I've been a jerk for the past week because I've been dealing with some issues with my family, unfortunately. So be there for each other. Unfortunately, rest in peace, Chester Bennington. Go Tell It to the Wall. We'll be back, hopefully next week. We're not going anywhere. Everything's fine with the podcast. Everything's fine with Zofia. Everything's fine with my wife. Unfortunately, I can't get through an hour of it tonight. And that is because my grandmother back in Chicago is having a tough time. And I'm pretty much planning to get back there very soon, and this is eating up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy. And I apologize to you as Wall fans, but as you know, I say here, ever since the last episode, have passion. And something that I'm passionate about is the podcast. Something I'm even more passionate about is my family. And so right now, I need to be there for my family, for my mother, for my aunts and uncles, for my cousins. There's 13 of us, and now all the cousins have kids. I mean, it's a big family, and I just have to take this time to be with them, to be supportive. And honestly, I've been crying my eyes out all day, and I don't think I'd get through an hour of a podcast without just completely breaking down. Fortunately, I have a beautiful 8-month-old baby named Zofia that's been able to cheer me up, and I have the support of my wife. But everyone goes through these tough times, and I just happen to be going through one now. Fortunately, my grandmother has lived an incredible life, 87 years old. The matriarch of our family has really is a big part of the reason, part of why I am who I am today, is her. She still resides in what I consider my childhood home back in Chicago. I didn't have a childhood home in San Diego, really. I didn't. We didn't have a lot of money, and we moved a lot. My childhood home is in Chicago, in Bolingbrook, Illinois. And so therefore, I'm spending this time supporting my mother, supporting my family, and doing whatever I can to kind of get through this tough time. And I know all of you out there that are watching this, you can understand completely, because we've all had tough times. And we'll all get through it. And Go Tell It to the Wall will be back stronger than ever, because we got to record episode 25. That's a big number. Episode 25, that's a big number. So on top of that, I am retooling a little bit, outside of personal reasons for just kind of skipping a couple weeks of recording. We've kind of outgrown our britches a little bit here. And so I've had to go through and get some more storage for the podcast, which just takes some time and some money and some technical jargon, I guess. So that's going to be kind of revamping and ramping up here shortly. But I appreciate all of your support as Wall fans, and we will be back up and running. I will try to keep some video updates going because we do get good feedback from those, and especially in lieu of having an entire episode this week. But hopefully next week, if not next week, it will definitely be the week after. Please just bear with me as we're getting through this stuff. It is what it is. That's what I always say. I will hopefully come out on the other side better, as well my entire family, including my close-knit family here, my wife and daughter as well. So I appreciate all your support. We will be back, Wall fans. Have no fear. And I just wanted to update everyone, because we're not going anywhere. It's just sometimes these things happen. Back in November, I missed an episode because my daughter was being born. So we miss episodes for new life, and unfortunately, sometimes we have to miss episodes because of what's going on and what happens in the real world. So I appreciate it, all of you. Follow us, Facebook.com/Go Tell It to the Wall, on Twitter @TellTheWallPod or @MagicMuppet, and I'll be updating all of you as far as when we will be going live again and when we will have an entire episode. As always, Wall fans, make sure you have passion, and no matter what you do, no matter who you see, hug your loved ones. Just remember that time is short, no matter who you are, and hug your loved ones. And as you do that, remember to always, 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 always do it with common sense.